start streaming. It'll just take a second for it to kick in.
So once you're on YouTube, you never went back, huh?
Yeah, man, we love this YouTube stuff. All right, we're live now. What's up, YouTube? Welcome to episode number 122 of Raiders Fan Radio. Welcome back. Well, I'll save it. I'll tell you in a minute.
Raider! Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murph's Fan Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, Koleknikov, a leaping pass, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players, you have a great organization, and you tell them one thing, just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, time running down, Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play.
Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
What is up, Raider Nation? Your old buddy Murph back once again for another what we hope to be fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio. That's right, episode number 122 of what is this? Episode 122 of Raiders Fan Radio, back here in Murph's Fan Cave. And man, this is going to be fun. I wasn't sure if the live stream was going to work tonight, but I think we've got it set because this is the first time that I've run a live stream from multiple locations on the show. The guy that used to do this here on Raiders Fan Radio is now joining me from the other side of the country. And so welcome back. A glorious rounding sound of applause for former co-host of Raiders Fan Radio, Sonny. What's up, Sonny?
Yeah. What up, Josh? Can I call you your real name, or are you still going by Murph?
Uncle Mosh slips every once in a while, but no, it's Murph, man. It's Murph's Fan Cave. You got to stay on brand, Sonny, as they say.
I'm excited to be back in what was formerly known as the Dago Dungeon. Now it's Murph's Fan Cave, right? Is that what's going on now?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, that's the podcast network now, man, the Fan Cave.
That's cool, man. You've gone on and done bigger and better things than I ever could. And you know what, Murph? I'm going to go full Saltalamacchia.
Okay.
I get credit for your success.
You're dropping your last name on the show?
Because a long time ago, I told you should host a show. And you were like, no. Like, Murph, you be better at it. And look what's happened. You've taken it to proportions that it never would have been. And so, all your success, I'm okay with your success because it's my success.
Well, awesome. Well, I appreciate the sentiment. I appreciate the kind words, and it always filters back to you one way or the other, right? That's what it.
That's how it rolls.
That's how it works, man. You got to find a way to take credit for it. Well, absolutely. Well, and hey, and we're going to get to it in a minute, but you've gone on to some amazing things here lately as well, and I definitely want to give you the opportunity to share that with Raider Nation because I know that I get asked about you all the time, still to this day. Folks still ask me about Sonny and what's going on with Sonny, and a lot of our callers still greet us with what's up Murph, what's up Uncle Mosh, what's up Sonny. Like, that's so cool. You're definitely still in our thoughts and on the minds of the Raiders Fan Radio listeners, man. So it's good to have you back. So Uncle Mosh has been out the past couple of weeks with real life, and so Sonny and I were talking the other day, and he was available, man. So I'm like, let's do it. So we're doing it on a Tuesday night instead of our normal Wednesday. But man, this is going to be great. So back in the old days when Sonny and I first started this show, kind of the core of it, really we learned quickly after about the first 6 months or so that the core of this show was the listeners. It was, it was the callers, it was the emailers. And so we started to build the structure around that. And ultimately that's what we found is, are you on camera now? Yeah. Oh, there you are. Yeah. It's And so ultimately we found that was the best part of the show. So more of you and less of us is a good thing. So we're gonna stick on that a lot. Now there's a lot of news out there, and with the chat going live, we'll definitely be talking to you in the chat, and we'll definitely be hitting the news stories. But we're gonna kind of hit them as we go through the Sea of Fans mailbag. That's, I think, the most appropriate way to really include Sonny in this, is that get him talking to you all and giving his take on a lot of what your takes are. You guys hear me all the time, so we want to hear a lot from him. So
Murph,
what?
Who are all these people talking on the YouTube?
Yeah, okay. So this is our chat room, man.
What are you doing nowadays with this thing?
I know, it's crazy. So so in the chat there, I'm glad you brought it up. I can't scroll up, but just to shout out a few names in there. Yo, Raider Beto's in there. One Nation Fanware, that's our buddy Just Win Johnny. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. Ace is in there. John L. Davis. Matthew, Shawshank Raider. Jesse Rosales. Two Deuce. There's a whole bunch. So this is really cool, Sonny. So during the show, man, during our live streams, we have the chat scrolling, and it's hard for me to keep up. Uncle Mosh does a pretty good job of keeping up with it. But I want to kind of save this sentiment, but I'll just go ahead and touch on a little bit now. All that I said about what we had originally set forth with, including the listeners and all that stuff, and having them be part of the show instead of us just talking. A really cool side effect of that, Sonny, that has cropped up now is that there's this a community of listeners of our show that have all now have become friends on their own, separate from us. And we've got this amazing community of folks, not only on other social media, but especially here as we're doing the show live, that just, I mean, they're our brain. They're smarter than we are. They're funnier than we are. You know what I mean? It's the chat room is amazing. And I'm not just saying that because I think so, but I hear from a lot of folks that come through different, podcasts and whatnot and live streams and everything. And the response has always been the same in our chat room, is that you guys have the best chat room, that you guys have the best people in there.
They just sit around, and then as soon as you go live, they just all come piling in.
Yeah, they kind of just I tell them, I mean, they're not just sitting around with bated breath waiting for us to go live, but but I let them know on Twitter and Facebook, and so everybody gets their notification, our subscribers, and then we got 1,400 subscribers now on YouTube, man, and so
I don't even think YouTube was around when me and you did the show.
I know, right? But dude, I'm telling you, it's been such a cool thing,
awesome,
man.
It's good job.
If people are finding community amongst one another, man, and we're just the catalyst of that, or the common ground, then that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. So
for sure.
So that's definitely cool stuff. So all right, so let's get to a couple things real quick, and then we're gonna jump right into it. So first and foremost, as I mentioned, YouTube is the best way to support our show. You can subscribe to us. It's youtube.com/Murph's Fan Cave. That's MURFS Fan Cave. Please subscribe to us there. And you can also find us on any podcast service. All you got to do is search Murph's Fan Cave, and you can find us there. Sonny, something else is kind of new. We kind of had to make our thing Murph's Fan Cave because we couldn't use the word Raiders. We one too many of our friends had gotten crossed up with the league in different ways, and so we're trying to move away from the Raiders, brand, and just so that's why we go with Murph's Fan Cave and RFR essentially. So anyway, so when you look for our podcast on an audio service, just look for Murph's Fan Cave and subscribe to us in that way. And then lastly, in the description afterwards, and I don't think it's here in the live stream, but you'll see it afterwards, there's going to be a link in there to go to NFLshop.com. If you click on that link to go to NFLshop.com, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but we get a kickback from the league on anything that you buy by going through that link, and it will take you straight to all the Raiders stuff. And so anything you buy there, we'll get kicked back that money, and we're going to donate it all. We're going to give it away. We're in talks with a handful of different charities. Our buddy Just Win Johnny, who's in the chat tonight, is someone that we're working with. He's got a heart for suicide prevention, and I won't speak his business, but he's got a close connection to that and how it impacts families, and also with veterans. And so that's where our heart is, and that's where we want to give to. So we've reached out to a handful of different organizations. We haven't confirmed anything yet, but that's coming soon. And just know this, that any of the proceeds that we get from you clicking that link and going shopping that's where the money's going to go. So, you know, there's nothing wrong. I'm a capitalist at heart, and there's nothing wrong with people making money off of doing their stuff, but that's not what you and I set out to do, and that's not what Uncle Mosh and I want to do with it now, Sonny. So we're going to give that money away. If any revenue we can generate, man, we want to share it back, right? So
that's cool, man.
Anyway, so definitely, so definitely help us in that way. So I guess that's it. I got some contact information from Uncle Mosh here. Whoop, Sonny, we just lost your video there, bub. All right, I think we lost Sonny. All right, let me go ahead and hit the contact information here, and then we'll get started.
All right, boys and girls, pay attention. You got your old Uncle Mosh here with an update. That's right. I got some stuff for you. Take out a piece of paper, a pencil, a pen. Heck, use your pocket knife and carve the info into your dashboard as you're driving down the highway. First off, you need to like us on our fan page on Facebook. That's right. Go to Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast. Don't forget about the Twitter. You know your old Uncle Mosh, he twits now. That's right. Go to at Raiders Fan Radio. Also, don't forget the Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about our website? That's right, RaidersFanRadio.com. Heck, if you want to, you can even email us, show@RaidersFanRadio.com, or call us on the Raiders Fan Radio hotline, 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. Don't forget Merv's Fan Cave on the YouTube, where you can get all the show links like the Fan Club Blitz with Splatterhead and Fitz. Find all our stuff on podcast providers like Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Play. All right, did I hit the time limit? Good.
All right, thank you, Uncle Mosh, and I've switched the camera over there. You can see the Uncle Mosh, the 32 chair is empty over there as he's unavailable for the show. But you know, I was thinking about us, Sonny, and doing this show and Uncle Mosh.
I think about us all the time.
You know, and so I was thinking about kind of where this thing all started and how Mosh was our voiceover guy, and for a long time. And so we don't use those old voiceovers anymore because it's him talking to you and me. And so now that you're back on the show for this episode, I thought it would be kind of fun to go back and revisit a couple of those. So here's the ultimate qualifier for us about why we're able to do this show.
Hey, so this is Uncle Mosh, and apparently all you got to do to host a podcast is have a microphone, a garage, and a couple of Derek Carr jerseys. Ha! These two did it. You're listening to Raiders Fan Radio with Sonny and Murph.
Didn't that stem from that one anonymous Raider blogger going in hard on people doing podcasts wearing Derek Carr jerseys? Isn't that where that's yeah.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah. That's all you got to do is have a couple DC jerseys and a microphone. I should have worn mine tonight. I'm wearing my old school Sonny and Murph shirt.
We should have went straight Derek Carr.
That would have been funny.
Just for that guy.
Just for that guy. Absolutely. So, all right. So we always, this is something you started. We always name our episodes after we take our episode number and then we reflect it and relate that back to something significant.
That's why I had to get out, Murph. You were approaching 100. And I started panicking. I was like, how the heck are you going to name episodes after it's over 100? So I was like, I'm done. I'm gone.
I'm out. Once we hit 99, I'm out. Yeah.
And I didn't know you had to wait. I thought it was like Y2K, bro. I thought the podcast was going to end at 100.
And that was before Arden Key too, man. So you know what you're going to do with 99. So, you know, sometimes it's kind of tough, man, figuring out what the 3 digits are. And, you know, a lot of times it's a yardage total. We've used a section before of the Oakland Coliseum. This one was pretty easy though, man, because it's 122 and 122 as a date is January 22nd. So January 22nd, 1984, Sonny, you want to take a run? I'm putting you on the spot. You want to take a run at what happened on January 20th?
Super Bowl, right? Super Bowl 3? Or the third Super Bowl for the Raiders,
Third Super Bowl for the Raiders, absolutely. So that was Super Bowl 18. And
is that Black Sunday?
Exactly, yeah. Black Sunday. Yeah. So the Raiders win 38-9, of course, over the Washington Redskins as they handed the Redskins a defeat in which no honor could be salvaged, for nothing that blocked nor tackled nor ran nor passed could have stopped the Raiders on Black Sunday. Absolutely. No, I'm no John Facenda, but
and that was when Marcus Allen was still a running back and not an accomplice to the murdering of OJ's wife, right?
Oh my God.
Allegedly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that was Marcus Allen running with the night. That wasn't OJ.
He must have got
driving
slower
with the
years 'cause
daylight.
OJ caught him.
Yeah. All right, so that's episode number 122. So real quick, Sonny, I don't know if you've gotten a chance to listen to our show at all here lately, but I've begged you to get out here for the draft. Now, granted, you have a good reason for not coming out here to the draft this year because you're going to schedule a Raiders trip instead to go see a game. But for this draft that's going to be in Nashville, Tennessee, which is right down the road from where I live, we are going to be there live for the draft, and so we've got a little bit of news for you on that.
Awesome.
Here is the latest draft.
There's a draft. Today's our draft.
Watch out for drafts.
This is the NFL draft.
The first draft. Look, I'm entering a draft.
He's going pro in the draft.
You're going to the draft?
Surefire first round draft pick.
Draft looks solid.
Good luck with the draft.
They drafted me.
Apparently we're drafted.
I drafted you.
I got drafted.
Another successful draft.
Yeah. Shallow draft.
Draft picks.
It's my third draft.
You only get drafted once.
Well, it's draft day.
Let's talk about the draft.
This is gonna be the worst draft yet.
It's our draft.
You're drafting me in the first round.
#1 draft choice, signed a big contract.
Excellent draft.
Nashville Day. Nashville Day. Nashville Day.
All right, the 2019 NFL Draft, as I mentioned, will be on Lower Broadway of Nashville, Tennessee, and Raiders Fan Radio will be live there from the draft. So the Saturday of the draft, which is April 27th, we will be doing a live stream from the Bavarian Beer House. We're going to be doing that over lunchtime, and it's one of them big, giant Hofbrauhaus kind of things with the big community tables and all the big mugs of beer and food and all that. So it should be a lot of fun. So come join us. Please let Raiders Fan Radio be part of your draft experience on the 27th over lunchtime. I think we're going to go live probably right at noon. We'll be there, of course, that morning to set up and whatnot. So come on whenever you want. But if you're going to come, please go to the Raiders Fan Radio podcast Facebook page. We have an event listing there, and just let us know you're coming. There's about 30 of you so far that have done that, and so look forward to seeing you there. And I think we're going to get a lot more. I talked to the lady today, and she told us that that a lot of you are calling the mall, and because this big beer house thing is part of this mall called Opry Mills. Did we go there, Sonny, when you were in town? Did we go to Opry Mills? Yeah, that's the big giant mall that's got like a Bass Pro Shops and an IMAX theater. It's right there on the river where the river boats are and all that. I can't remember if we took you up there.
We did.
We went to the Opryland Hotel. I know we did that, and it's right next door to all that. So anyways, if you're coming to the draft, that's where we're going to be. So let us know you're coming so we can let them know, because that's the main reason we want to know. There's not like you got to buy a ticket or anything. You just show up, and we're going to do the show. But we need to let them know how much room to reserve for us. So the more of you that can let us know about that, the absolute better. So then the other thing is that Music City Raider Nation meets at this place called the Beercade HQ, which is one of those like arcades with like old school 80s games, Sonny, you know, where like you can get beer.
Yeah.
Have you seen those
are
things?
fun.
Yeah. So that's where Raider Nation meets on Sundays to like watch games and stuff. And that is right downtown. So our place is kind of off site a little bit from downtown, and that was intentional because it's a little bit easier to get to. This place is right smack dab in the middle of downtown, right off of 2nd Ave. And so that night, Saturday night, is one of the official Raider Nation meetups. Well, I've talked to Raider Bam, who is the president of the Music City Raider Nation, and we're going to be part of their event too. I don't know if we're going to broadcast again or not, if we're just going to be there to be live or just to hang out and celebrate the draft with Raider Nation or not. But one way or the other, we're going to be there for that too. So definitely check that out. It's Beercade HQ. It's right downtown, right on 2nd Avenue. So it's going to be a big day for Raiders Fan Radio that Saturday of the draft, a big day for Raider Nation. All reports are that there's about 250,000 people coming to town for the draft this year. So it's going to be an absolute, just a rock show, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're coming, then let us know, and definitely look us up at both of those locations. All right, so let's go and get on to See a Fan. So before I hit the music, though, Sonny, I touched on a little bit ago about, and this was your idea. So when we first started doing this show, we were just we're still a couple of knuckleheads with microphones, but we were just kind of getting on the air and talking about Raider news, and we never sold ourselves to be analysts or of any experts or anything like that. But we quickly realized that we wanted to make other people part of it. That's why we named the show Once Upon a Time Raiders Fancast and then Raiders Fan Radio. Tell them a little bit for those that don't know, because we get new listeners every week. Like, our numbers go up and up and up every week, and we get new people, new listeners, new callers every single week. So tell them a little bit about kind of your idea and your reason behind that, coming up with that idea, Sonny.
For not being analysts?
Well, that and just the idea of bringing people in and making them more part of the show than us.
Well, yeah, more of them and less of us, and the whole idea was we're not analysts. We played a lot of Madden, so we think we know about football. We qualify as what's called Twitter GMs, much like everybody else. And unless you're paid to do it on a daily basis, like, there's no way to keep up. There's no way to do breaking news and stuff like that. And anybody who sits at their house and calls themselves an analyst, well, they're adding on a couple extra letters to that terminology, And so we just wanted to create a show because, remember, we podcasted for years about Madden football, and then we tried to be all wholesome and Full House and try to do it about being a father, and that lasted about 5 episodes. We're like, yeah, this is lame. And then we tried to combine family and pop culture and Raiders, and then one day we're just talking, going, all this stuff is kind of lame. Let's just talk about the Raiders. and then we did it, and then the whole goal was to bring people in, and because we were fans, we wanted to have a show about being a fan and stuff like that, and so that was the whole intention behind it, was not to be analysts, but just to talk about the Raiders, to be kind of like unabashed and unapologetically sold out for the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? Like not having too much of an objective point of view on them, but just, I'm a Raiders fan because I'm a Raiders fan, and that's all you need to know. And so screw off if you don't like it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and I think that's what you've carried forward. I've tuned in a couple times to your shows, and it's just gotten more fun. It looks like it's fun to be a part of. It's fun for the chat, and Uncle Mosh took it to a whole other game and stuff like that and stuff. So, man, it's just cool. And I'm so happy to see that. When I told you I had to step away for a while, you were like, "Oh, I'm going to keep it going." And I was like, heck yeah, keep it going. And I'm so glad you did, and just seeing it to where it's going. I love what you and Mikey do. Mikey's a little crazy sometimes. I don't know if he got dropped one too many times, but he needs to take that tinfoil hat off his head because he has some crazy theories. But I love that you're partnering with him. And then Chuck used to be just a caller. Now he has his own podcast and stuff. So yeah, man, cool stuff, man. Just cool stuff.
Yeah, good deal. Yeah, right on. I appreciate the kind words, and yeah, and that's again, that's been one of the coolest things. And you mentioned Chuck; he's got a call in here in a minute. We got a lot of our OG made men, man, have called in, so we're gonna hear from all those guys. But before we kind of get onto that, actually, I'm gonna stop myself. I want to ask you about because I appreciate what you had to say about our show, but also let everybody know about what you got going on, because there's a couple of things I want you to talk about, and I'm going to assume the longer story is the Grammys, which we've told everybody about, but you've also been cheating on me because you're doing another podcast, and but actually you're doing it with
I don't want to tell you for a while. I didn't know how to break it to you.
But actually, you've been doing it with your good buddy TJ. TJ's awesome. He's actually been out here. You've brought him on Raider trips with us, and
he's a Niners fan. Trying to change him over,
but at least he's an A's fan, so we have that common ground, right? But he's just such a super cool guy, youth pastor, and it's the well, I'm gonna let you talk about it. I want to speak for you, but tell him what you guys got going on with your podcast and about kind of some of the reasons why you stepped away from Raiders Fan Radio, because I think this is awesome. This is life stuff well beyond Raider, and we're going to get plenty of Raiders guys, so bear with us, but I want Sonny to kind of elaborate on what he's got going on.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. So I stepped away. We were having another baby, so I had a baby girl back in September, and so that was one of the main reasons is family first. So that's 3 kids under 5, and it fully wiped out all the hair I had left on my head, so that was fun. So I had to take care of the baby. Also, a couple years ago, I started this program. So I work as a counselor for kids who have like addictions and mental health issues, and they're on probation. So like 90% of the kids I work with are on probation, meaning they committed crimes, got adjudicated through the courts. And so a couple years ago, I started this program for them on top of just the regular counseling. It's called Journaling Through Music. And I was finding is like a lot of these guys would come through my program, and they'd have this crazy history of like never meeting their father and growing up on the streets and just having a really rough go at it. But, you know, getting them to talk about it was difficult because no kid wants to talk about those hurtful feelings. So I started this program called Journeying Through Music, where I would create rap beats for them, and then they would write lyrics about those issues, and then put pen to paper, and then put the lyrics over the beats, and we would make songs. And so for the last couple of years, it's kind of starting to gain some traction, gain some ground, trying to figure out really how to do that. And now it's kind of got legs on it. And so now it's starting to kind of get some recognition. We're starting to get our songs out there. And yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, how much more do you want me to go?
Well, and then so this has led to not only amazing exposure for your program and the first and foremost, the work that you're doing with the kids and helping these kids through recovery, these kids getting them out of the system, and, you know, all that's the work, and that's the beauty of all of this. But it also led to the Grammys. So, I mean, like, it's not like you guys are just, you are just doing this to do it. You're doing quality work, and the end product is getting nationally recognized. Like, it's not like you're just throwing together some music here.
Yeah, so we appreciate that. So we entered this contest. It was this national contest through this organization called Music Cares, and they're an organization that travels around the country and takes care of people who are struggling musicians who need recovery and stuff like that. So we entered this national contest. 3 of my guys entered the national contest. We submitted 2 songs, and they both won. One won first place, and one won third place. And then the winning, there's 3 guys who won. 2 guys collaborated, and then 2 guys who collaborated won first place. So we all got to go down to the Grammys, and the top 2 guys who won first place actually got to attend the Grammys and attend the pre-gala and attend the after party, and got to go on a tour. We got to meet the owner of Vans, or actually his son, but he's the current owner of Vans. We got all his Vans swag and stuff like that. And got to, you know, we were like 2 feet in front of Miley Cyrus and Shawn Mendes and Mark Ronson and Norah Jones and all these kind of crazy people and stuff. And got to walk the red carpet at the Grammys and stuff like that. I'll kind of tell you a funny story. So on the red carpet at the Grammys, there's 2 red carpets. There's like, and it's divided up by like these dividers and stuff like that. And so on the one side is the famed red carpet, right? Where you got the people walking, stopping, getting their pictures taken, stuff like that. And then on the back side of that is where like the rest of the Yahoos get to walk through and stuff. So that's where we were. And they're kind of like ushering you forward and stuff like that, right? So we're walking on the back side of the red carpet, and you can hear like, turn around, show us the dress, you know, blah, blah, blah. You can hear all that, right? You hear all the cameras. You're right there, dude.
And you are like, what, me?
Huh?
When you heard show us the dress, you're like, oh, me?
Yeah. Like, show us some leg. I'm like, well, I got pants on. It might be difficult, right? So I'm walking, and like, you know, the dividers, you know, it wasn't a solid wall, so you'd see these breaks, and you'd see like the CBS cameras, and you'd see the you know, the people walking through and stuff like that. And then at the very end, I get out of the red carpet area, and I get to ready to walk inside the Staples Center, and lo and behold, Murph, who do I meet? The one and only Ron Jeremy.
Oh no!
Of all freaking people, right? So I'm live streaming on our Instagram feed for my company and stuff, and we're just kind of having a good time and just kind of going at it and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm just in the moment, right? I'm just like talking to everybody and just what up, you know, pretending I've been there. And I see Ron, and I'm like, you know, because, you know, I mean, I'm not an avid porn watcher. I watched when I was a kid, and who doesn't know Ron Jeremy and stuff like that? And he's popular. He's like, he transcended, you know?
Yeah, he's a pop culture guy now. Yeah.
So I look over, I'm like, that's freaking Ron Jeremy. And dude, talk about this. Like, he looked freaking disgusting, bro. Anyway, so I go walking over there. I'm like, hey, Ron. And he looks up at me. I guess I shake his hand, you know, and then I walk off.
And then you went and immediately washed your hand. Right?
And then I go, shh, can you cuss on here? I go, shoot, I should probably go wash my hands.
Yeah.
Oh, it was funny, man. I was dying, dude. It was pretty funny.
That's funny, man.
But yeah, man, got to sit to the Grammys. And the coolest thing is these kids I work with, these kids who have gone through a pretty rough life, used the platform, used their lyrics, used their stories in a positive and healthy way, using rap music, and took the platform and got to go to the Grammys. And then they got a ton of coverage up here in Oregon, and they were on TV, they were on the radio. They got invited to go into the Oregon State legislator meetings. They got their song played at the Oregon House, the Capitol building. I'm pretty sure it's the first time a rap song's ever been played at the Oregon Capitol.
Wow, that's sweet.
And yeah, pretty legit stuff, man. So it's just been a lot of fun. And now all these kids are all hyped up and they're all coming to me. They're calling me the White Dre. And it's good times, man. But it's all for helping these guys get through some difficult times in their life and stuff like that. And it's using rap music in a healthy and positive way, which is super cool.
That is amazing, dude. Well, we're proud of you, man. That's good stuff. You're literally doing the Lord's work, man. And I think that's beautiful. And you stepped away from Raiders Fan Radio for the absolute right reasons, and the right things have happened because of it, man. So that's awesome, man. So I hope you're proud of yourself, and we congratulate you, man, on the current and future success of all this. That's sweet, dude.
Thanks, man.
All right, so now we can have you as the official celebrity Raider fan interview now too. You know what I mean? You can kind of check both boxes there. So all right, well listen, we're gonna jump right into the Sea of Fans mailbag and hear from you. We've got a lot of your phone calls and emails to get to tonight, and so without further ado, let's do the Sea of Fans.
There he is, fading, looking. He's under the gun. He's tied, he's thrown. It is.
All right, so if you want to be part of Raiders Fan Radio, you can do that in multiple ways. You can call us at 909-345-3346. You can send us an email at show@RaidersFanRadio.com, and you can also join us on the live stream, as many of you are tonight, in the chat. It's Joseph Morales, not Jesse James. That was a scroll up. I can't scroll up. Mikey's in there. What's up, Mikey? Yo-Yo, Running Bear, Two Deuce, of course, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Wyoming Raider, Stone Raider. Get some Doritos, bro. One Nation Fan Word, that's Just Win Johnny. Lots of folks in there, and appreciate you joining us and supporting us here on Raiders Fan Radio. Hey, and real quick, Watts, I saw, had a comment in there about Watts, when we say that we're just fans and we're not analysts, it's not a way to knock us down. Look, because I agree with, and Watts made the comment that, just because I'm not on a TV show doesn't mean that I'm less informed than somebody that is. I agree with you. And frankly, I know you and I know your content. You are more informed than most of the people on mainstream media. But the idea is that we didn't want to sell ourselves as authorities. We wanted to sell ourselves as fans, because at the end of the day, that's all Sonny and I are fans. Not that we're not informed, we can't have educated opinions. And I like to think that we kind of hit the pulse of Raider Nation once in a while. But it's not, but that we don't refer to ourselves in that way to downplay or to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm proud of what we do. I'm proud of heck of what we do. And I'll take the Pepsi challenge against any other podcast out there. And there's a lot of good ones. What's
the Pepsi challenge?
Remember the old days where they would pour like two different sodas and then you would taste them blindfold to see which is which? That wasn't
is that how you measure podcasts nowadays?
I don't know. It came out of my head, man. That's what happens when you're a middle-aged guy.
I think you should have a push-up contest.
There's a couple I could beat.
I nominate Uncle Mosh to do it for Raiders Fan Radio.
There's probably a couple guys we could take out there, but I don't know, man. Kenny and Che over
chicken wing eating contest.
They look like they're in pretty good shape. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. So anyways, but there's a lot of great podcasts out there. And I just talked about on our Mondays with Mike and Murph show this last week that, we're all about lifting each other up. We're not going to tear anybody else down. There's so much good Raiders content out there, and we celebrate every single one of them. Everyone's got an audience. Everyone's got a voice, and we're not gonna bash anyone. But I am absolutely confident and proud of the product that we put together as well. So those things can exist simultaneously there. So anyways, all right. So let's jump into the Sea of Fans. So Sonny, do you know what the Sizzler is? Have you heard that on our show yet?
The Sizzler?
Yeah, the Sizzler. So the Sizzler, we give out a Sizzler award every week.
Wasn't that something that cost Jamarcus Russell his chance of playing in the NFL? Well, that was Scissor Up.
Scissor Up. No, the Sizzler is this.
Sizzler.
Sizzler. Sizzler. Sizzler. Sizzler. Sizzler.
So the Sizzler is the hottest take of the week, man. That's the one that sizzles. It's the best email, the best voicemail. So we're going to start off with a few voicemails. We're going to start off with a few emails. Hi, Murph. My name is Leo. I decided to write this email and tell my Raiders story. I know I was born a Raiders fan from when I was a kid. from my uncle and my cousin. They're like my dad and my brother. Boy, that sounds familiar, doesn't it? They are diehard Raider fans. I remember watching games on TV, getting hats and T-shirts for my birthday at a young age. I got an older cousin that would also like to go to games. The best experience I had was when I got tickets to the Black Hole. I bought my boss a ticket for a game because he's a Pittsburgh fan, and it was fun watching everyone rag on him. We had a great time. It was the game Terrell Pryor ran 93 yards for a touchdown. Ooh, remember that?
Yeah,
that was legit. That was legit. My kids and wife are Raiders fans as well. I have 2 girls and a boy. I came down with a disease called dystonia and have bad spasms all over my body, and it affected my speech. I found your show and I love your Raider talk and information. You, Uncle Mosh, and you and Mikey are hilarious. You guys help me not focus on my pain when I listen to you. Want to thank you for replying to my Twitter posts, as I do not talk to anyone much anymore. Love you guys. Love your show. Keep up the good work. Go Raiders. Raiders all day, every day. Leo, dude, I mean, that gives me chills, man. That's legit, man. That's what it's all about, man. It's all about connecting Raider Nation, and you are too kind to your comments. And I'm jealous you got to be there for that game against Pittsburgh. That was awesome. I think that was the end zone Terrell Pryor took off from. So Leo was right there in the black hole with Terrell Pryor right in front of him, man, where he took off for that 93 yards. So that's awesome. And I at the time, Sonny, that was the longest. I know it's the longest
quarterback run, right?
Is it right? Isn't that the longest quarterback run from? I know it's not the longest Raiders run.
Well, I think Tom Brady had a 94-yard run, didn't
he? Yeah. He beat Joe Flacco's 93.
Yeah. Who beat Peyton Manning's 92? Who beat Dan Marino's 91? Who beat Kenny Stabler as a Houston Oiler in a 90?
Oh my God! You know, it's so funny when you look at those old highlights of Kenny, man. I mean, poor guy. He was in such pain, man. He just, limping.
What do you think had a worse toll on Kenny Stabler, the partying or playing football?
Oh my, dude, that's. I know you're being.
Question,
I
right?
know. I know you're being fun with
question.
it, but that's a legit question, man. Like, my gosh,
yeah.
man, that's poor Kenny, man. He took an absolute beating as a player, man, no doubt. Yeah. All right, let's see. Let's go with one more here before we get to the voicemails, or some voicemails, and then we'll come back to the emails. Let's do our buddy Paul. So our buddy Paul, Sonny, he's in Shropshire, England.
Paulie. Hey, Paulie.
Hey, everybody's got to have a Paulie, right? Hey, you got to have a guy, and you got to. Hey, we got a guy.
You got a guy.
You need a guy in England? We got a guy. Good evening, guys. Another week closer, and the new season hasn't been quiet the last couple days. We've said over the last couple weeks how exciting things will get when free agency hits, and we were right. I have to admit, I wasn't sure about us signing Antonio Brown. I never doubted his talent, but I was more concerned with the perceived baggage that comes with him. I had the same doubts about beast mode, but after listening to your interview with Scott Winter, it calmed me down, and I'm elated that we've got him. The structure of the deal is favorable, so it makes it even more pleasing, and it's upsetting the Pittsburgh Squealers fans, so it's all good. Seems Mayock is a tough negotiator and certainly worked wonders with the deal. At the time of writing, things are happening all over the league. LaMarcus Joyner has been announced. That's a good one for us. Great call, Murph, on Monday Night Show. I keep seeing Le'Veon Bell's name being mentioned. Yeah, and it's blowing up in the chat right now too. The Le'Veon Bell. If we keep producing these quality signings, it's going to be hard to not get carried away with things. And come season prediction time, I could end up off the rails with my prediction. Finally, a couple quick questions for you. All right, so Sonny, let's let you answer these questions. I haven't even looked at them yet, so I'm putting you on the spot. All right, do you think if we want one or two more big free agent signings, that Derek Carr's contract could be tweaked to free up some extra cap space?
Well, of course. I mean, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibilities.
Yeah, absolutely not. And I mean, I just saw today, you see that the Bears are already starting to rework Mac's contract. Did you see that? Oh my gosh. It's,
go ahead. One thing Vic Tafer said that I think was the best statement around all of this is now we're going to really see if Derek Carr is Derek Carr or not, because like 2016, we all remember that year. That was when Derek Carr was the MVP candidate, and until Christmas Eve happened, and then we don't talk about that. But now he has Antonio Brown. So now it's like, this is the year that John Gruden is going to figure out, is Derek Carr the guy or not? Like, can he be productive with Antonio Brown? There's no more excuses, like there's no more Cooper didn't run routes or Cooper didn't try. There's no more of that. Like, we got freaking Antonio Brown. He's been the dominant receiver in the NFL for the last 6 years. And this is a put up or shut up year for Carr, So if Carr puts it up, then we know he's our guy. Then maybe we work his contract, and then maybe it's a little more court or friendly for the team friendly, and we can get some more players. Or if he's not the guy, then then we learn how to move on and stuff. So
yeah,
man.
Yeah, good deal. Yeah, that's a great point. And the Bears contract for Khalil Mack, they've created $11 million in cap space by converting $13 million of his base salary and roster bonus into a signing bonus. So they're already starting the dominoes on reworking that. And I'm with you on the point too. That's I think a critical point that you make, Sonny, about, look, I've been accused of being a bootlicker and an apologist. And like you said, we're unabashed Raider fans. Like,
sure.
Yes. I mean, look at my freaking house, for crying out loud. I mean, yes, we are look at yours, like we are unabashed Raider fans. And so I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm not going to apologize for taking the side of the team, but I am also a realist, and so are you. And yeah, if now after loading up Derek Carr with a bunch of weapons, if he's still throwing picks in the end zone,
yep.
Guess who's going to be the first couple of guys to call him out? It will be us. So I'm with you, man. It's like this is going to be finally. I think we're approaching put up or shut up real quick for Mr. Carr. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. Let's hear from some voicemails. So we always start off, Sonny, with our call from the Capo. If you want to be a made man on Raiders Fan Radio, you got to call the show and you get your voicemail played 3 times. And there's about 30 made men now. And the made man of the made men, we call him the Capo. He is Aaron, the Q-Dog Raider.
Yeah.
Greetings. Here you Q-Dog Raider coming to you from the great state of Texas. That's right, Texas. I'm back where I belong. Murph, Sonny, Mosh, little Murph, you little scallywag. But we want to welcome a couple of cats to Raider Nation in grand fashion. I mean, we've taken a complete 180 as it relates to Antonio Brown. The price that we gave up for him, all that, makes what we did in order to bring on this potential malcontent, an afterthought. Welcome, Antonio Brown. We also want to welcome Trent Brown, mountain of a man, potentially our left tackle, maybe the answer right tackle from New England. Welcome aboard. But I've got to put up the kibosh and say no way on Lev Bell. It's just not fiscally responsible at this point, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with Beast Mode. And remember, Chris Warren III is yet to be revealed, so I'm out on Bell. And since we're saying no way to Justin Houston. He can kiss my toe. I ain't trying to be with that dude, man. He's just too long a tooth, man. Once again, Chucky said we're not trying to retread, stopgaps that are on the wrong side of 30. Too bad we lost out on Landon Collins. Really wanted that guy banging the drum for that dude, but, the Redskins wanted him more than we did. But that does not mean that we don't have viable safety candidates out there. Adrian Amos, remember, he's a safety, 26 years old. He plays with He Shall Not Be Named up there in Chicago. And Clinton Dix, he's 26 as well. Both of these guys got good pedigrees, and they can basically, shore up our back end. All eyes should remain on C.J. Mosley, our middle linebacker. C.J. Mosley. Keep on reciting the name. We got to speak it into existence. The hit list, Colecchio, Simile, K.O., you're rumored to go to the Jets, Jets. See you. We need to free up that cap space. We might just get that 3-year number 5 pick back that we gave up for AB. Once again, the hit list, Johnny Townsend and Donald Penn. You guys will be all-stars and remain on that. Respect to Emiliano, the big Raider trucker, Mojo Raider, B-Dog, Raider Ramon, Ron and Alliance, Johnny Wasabi. And I got to give it up to my beautiful wife celebrating our 20th anniversary day after tomorrow. The beautiful Mrs. Q-Dog. Love you, Stephanie. Rue.
Wow, isn't that cool, man?
Good guy, Q-Dog. Good guy.
Absolutely. Now, obviously, his call came in before a lot of the big names started dropping, and actually, he called us back. We've got another one from the Capo here in just a sec, but what do you think about that? We saw CJ. We were banging the drum for Landon Collins, Sonny, and CJ Mosley. Those are the 2 guys, but we didn't get them. But my gosh, they gotta get paid. Whew.
Everybody's getting paid, bro. Crazy. That's crazy.
That's true. All right, next up here, we're going to hear from Aaron here in a second. Before we get to that, though, we're going to hear from one of the OG made men here on Raiders Fan Radio, as Sonny mentioned. He then spun that into his own show, and you can find that show right here on the Murph's Fan Cave Podcast Network. That is the Fan Club Blitz with Splatterhead, Tom, and Fitz. And let's hear from our buddy Chuck, Splatterhead McCann.
What's up, guys? It's Chuck Splatterhead McCann. I had to call in because it sounds like you're having a reunion show tonight. So what's up, Murph? What's up, Sonny? What an exciting turn of events this week, man. I am pretty stoked. Hey, I'm driving. I see a Raiders sticker in front of me. I got to catch that car. Man, Antonio Brown. Everything else is going. Looks like you got your safety from the Rams there, Murph. I was listening to you on Mikey and Murph. That's a great move, too. I'm telling you, Gruden is he's laughing right now at all the talking heads because I'm telling you, this guy, him and Mayock are making moves to put the Raiders into a position to do good things, even before Vegas. You know, let's hope it all pans out. Let's hope we can give Carr more than, 0.2 seconds to get the ball to Antonio Brown, and I see some big stuff happening. Really exciting. Chris Potts is losing his mind. I always have to talk about him. Yeah, we're rolling, man. So, hey, remind everybody, especially the Jersey people, I'm talking to Rev Raider, Yayo, all you guys, man. We got a St. Patrick's Day parade coming up here in Newton, New Jersey this weekend. It's going to be the Black Hole chapter. You got people coming up from the York, PA Booster Club, friends and family, man. We're decking out in Raiders gear and marching in this parade deep in the heart of Jets and Giants country. So, hope to see you guys there, man. Hit us up. Everybody on the East Coast is welcome. Jocelyn Johnny's going to be there. Got good stuff going on. So, anyway, man, just wanted to give a shout-out since the old cruise seems to be on the schedule for the show tonight. I'll talk to you guys soon, man. And I got a show coming for you, too, Murph. I just got to do a little editing of Fitz's potty mouth. But it wasn't too bad this time, so I should be able to get it done fairly easily. All right, take care, guys.
I feel so bad because they got to, sometimes, man, especially if they get to drinking a little bit, Chuck, they do a car horn instead of a beep, and I know Chuck is working overtime on the car horn button, man.
Hey, much love to Chuck. And to you too, Murph, because on this new podcast I do with my friend TJ, I spend like 3-4 hours editing the damn thing. Like, there is a lot to put out a podcast, man. So props to you, Chuck. Love to hear your voice, man. That's cool. He's a long-time listener, man. Chuck was there way back in the day.
Way back in the day, man. One of the first, Chuck, for those of you that don't know, is the president of the New Jersey chapter of the Black Hole. And they were one of the first clubs we had on, wasn't it?
Yeah. He was one of our very first interviews. First top 5 within there. Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely, yeah. So, Chuck's been around a long time and part of this show for a long time. We appreciate him and
Mikey,
his crew.
Mikey says, I have been around Ron Jeremy a little too much for my comfort as well. Scary, dirty old man. Mikey, why have you been around Ron Jeremy? What was the context for this contact? That's what I'm curious.
I'm guessing that was some sort of a Hollywood party, and Johnny Drama was probably involved somehow as well.
Johnny Drama.
All right, let's hear from our buddy Aaron, the Q-Dog Raider. He called back.
Greetings. Normally I don't do this, a 2-time call during a week, but this is extenuating circumstances. Greetings, Sonny, Murph, like old times, isn't it? On this, the eve of my 20th wedding anniversary, I'm sitting here beside the lovely and vivacious Miss Stephanie, who's put up with my black ass for far too long, but let's get into Raider talk. How about me going whiff on my aspiration about getting C.J. Mosley? Congrats to him. He got a mega deal with the JETS. Who gives a damn? But anyway, how about the collapse of the Pittsburgh Steelers and their credibility? I mean, honestly, the poster child for the bandwagon organization in the NFL just turned into the clown car of the NFL. And I tell you what, couldn't happen to a better team. And speaking of clown cars, a first, third, and of course my Neo, fellow Q-Dog Jabril Peppers being traded to the New York Football Giants in exchange for, well, the marginally masculine Odell Beckham Jr. Hello, Cleveland. Make sure you sleep the mustard and black this coming season. We aren't done. I mean, I think that we might have a shot at getting Lev Bell, but I don't covet this cat. If we get it, I won't stop it, though. But we're on the clock. Raiders, we're nomadic conquerors. I mean, that's what we are traditionally, but let's just go ahead and put it out there. I want to go ahead and put a dig in officially that, you know, this thing of ours becomes an official Raiders Booster Club. The Nomadics. Think about it. But this isn't about me. Let's go ahead and give it up to our new Sergeant at Arms. Give it up for Emiliano, the big Raider trucker. Big ups to you. I mean, you're a definite testament to your father's legacy, and there's no truer Raider ever created. Long live you, bruh. This goes out to all the made men. And Sergeant at Arms, your first duty, let's keep this douchebag, the self-proclaimed Dr. Death at bay.
Oh man, he's
going in hot.
Oh man, he's the best. He's the best.
Hey,
so go ahead. You
I
take
ain't gonna lie though, Murph. I will always root and cheer and be emotionally unregulated when it comes to the Raiders. But I'm looking forward to watching the Cleveland Browns this year, bro. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, dude. Odell. What do you say? The marginalized masculine,
marginally masculine.
Odell and Jarvis Landry, coupled with Baker's "I don't give a flying F" attitude. Like, get out of here, dude.
Yeah,
that team's gonna be fun to watch.
And Nick Chubb, right? Ooh. I mean, yeah, they got weapons, man.
They got weapons, and it's okay for us to root for them because we got two Browns on our team right now, right? Antonio Brown and Trent Brown.
That's right.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
There's correlation there, kind of like your numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, and as long as none of the Browns that play for our team wear 81 anymore, because when Pharaoh Brown did that, dude, it messed me up, man. I'm like, quit it with that. Yeah. So,
but let me ask you a question though. I've been thinking about this. I listened to Rome and Patrick, and they all cower, and everybody says their things.
Okay.
They're coming here for the money. Like it seems
sure.
Antonio Brown. I hear a lot of people going, yeah, Gruden's pulling in the guys. Like, no, they would have signed here if Dennis Allen was still coaching because they got $31 million guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't want to give Gruden too much credit here, but I think he deserves some credit. He's doing something. But Antonio Brown got paid. Trent Brown got paid. And here's the other thing: whenever New England doesn't re-sign a player and anybody else signs that player, how often does that player really excel? You know what I'm saying? So while I'm hopeful that Trent Brown is going to live up to expectations, Todd Downing taught me to hold my breath and wait and see what actually happens before I start selling everything, planning the Super Bowl trip that year. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think the thing that's encouraging to me in terms of this New England signing is that this is a young player. This isn't Richard Seymour or Lawyer Malloy or Ty Law or Willie McGinnis or whatever, you name it, on and on and on and on and on. They're usually Jamie Collins. Jamie Collins was kind of in his prime, but for the most part, they kind of they part with players like either at their apex or just after. You know what I mean? Like, but Brown, what is he, 25?
He's young.
Yeah. So this is not, not even a 28, 29-year-old player here. We're talking about a guy that's got a lot of playing time left, which is that is unlike the Patriots, because usually they're not old, but it's like just before they get old. Like you know what I mean? Like they sell them the players at their peak value, which is smart.
And he wasn't there very long. He was only there a year, right? Because he was on the Niners before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And he switched positions too, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah,
he's a great story. He's a huge man. He's like 6'8".
He's 380 pounds.
It's crazy. He's like the Big Show. He's monstrous. But
we got the Big Show.
We got the Big Show. So, anyways, but thank you for both the calls, Capo. Congratulations to you and your lovely wife, Stephanie. We definitely congratulate you from your friends here at Raiders Fan Radio on 20 years of marriage, man. That's awesome. And so, Sonny, I mentioned we had a lot of those old sound bites from when Uncle Mosh used to do our voiceovers for us. So I'm gonna play one, and then we'll dedicate this to Q Dog and Miss Stephanie.
Sitting there in your kimono, looking at your baby in her caftan. You're listening to Raiders Fan Radio. That's right. Two bald-headed idiots talking to you guys, keeping their foreheads slick and sexy. That's by Raiders fans, for Raiders fans, the only fans that matter.
Uncle Mosh, man. Look at my glasses fog up. That's the new thing now, man. My glasses fog up. Whenever I start laughing too much, my glasses fog up. So every time I hear something goofy, it makes my glasses fog up, but I can't see. All right, let's go to our buddy, Big Raider Trucker. Congratulations. Nominated as our new Sergeant of Arms, Sonny. The capo of the Made Men nominated Emiliano, Big Raider Trucker, as the Sergeant at Arms and advised him to regulate that one fan. I'm not going to bring up his name on the show, but yeah, so I guess old Big Raider Trucker, he's our new enforcer.
With a shout out to Wolfpack Nation, I want to say, finally, Big Raider Trucker has come back to the CFS mailbag, baby. What is going on, Raiders Fan Radio? Your boy is back. Finally. Oh, it's been one hell of a ride, man. Just had to check in with you guys. Sonny, welcome back, my brother. Murph, Uncle Mosh. Wow. Missed you guys. Been doing a lot with Raider Jeff. Got the shirt still up for sale. It's just been crazy. Shout out to Capo, Mojo Raider, B-Dog, and a pastor. I'm back, guys. Got to dedicate myself more to the show. Anyways, real quick, AB, welcome to the nation. Thank you for doing something with your mustache, looking like a dirty walrus. My goodness. Also, Trent Brown is in town. That'll solidify the left side or right side. Don't know what's going on with that. With free agency, there's a lot of people that have already been gone that we kind of fell in love with. No, I apologize. You know what I mean? Shouldn't have got so in love with these guys knowing that they could have ended up anywhere. Also, the draft is going to be one hell of a shit show because what are we going to do now? We just picked up people that we needed that we thought we were going to go in the draft. Anyway, Sonny, preach, brother. Preach. I want to hear from you. Give us the Raider news. Murph, love you, man.
Also, I want to add in, Raider Nation, don't forget, and please, 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 I understand we're happy for Antonio Brown in the offense, but let's not get too crazy on the hype train. There's still one prize in mind. We need to win the division. It starts and ends with the division. Don't get hooked on, oh yeah, we're playoff bound, baby, Super Bowl. No, let's take care of the division first for a couple years in a row, and then we can start to have these conversations of the glory days once again. Please, Raider Nation, that's all I ask. Also, like I said, what happened in Vegas started opening shirts are still online and for sale. Go ahead and show them some love. All right, like I said, guys, missed you. I'm back, baby. I'm back. So, Raider Nation, draft going down. Want to apologize. Murph and Uncle Mosh, sorry I won't be able to make it. Got some things in the works that don't allow me. Capo, really sorry. But like I said, guys, let's see what this draft holds. But it kind of looks like we're making that turn. And we're making the turn, Nation. Great things on the horizon. Big Raider Trucker, out.
All right, there he is, Emiliano, Big Raider Trucker. Hey, that's okay. Can't join us for the draft, but definitely check out our live stream, and we'll look forward to catching up with you that way as we're there Saturday for the draft. So good stuff. Oh, Sonny, real quick, too. We did a tagline contest on the show. And
he won, right? What happens in Vegas started in Oakland?
That's it, man. And so he trademarked it, and he's making T-shirts, and our buddy Jeff from Dead Pirate Sports linked up with Emiliano, and they're selling shirts, and they're selling like crazy. So congratulations to him. Business is booming on T-shirts for Emiliano. So that was pretty cool.
That's cool. That's cool.
Absolutely.
Good to hear your voice, Emiliano. Appreciate kind words and stuff. And the dirty walrus might be my favorite line to date so far.
That was pretty good.
Hey, Murph.
Yeah.
What is 11 feet and 4 inches?
Oh, no. 11 feet and 4. I have no idea.
Both of our starting safeties. What's 11 feet, 4 inches and can't cover a tight end? The Raiders starting safeties.
Oh, my God. Looking like time bandits back there in the secondary. Oh, my gosh, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Now, maybe it might be a good thing. Maybe every quarterback's going to be like, hey, I don't see anybody. It's because they're too damn small. You ain't going to be able to see them back there, man. Like, what the hell?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Dude.
Combined tight 11 feet, 4 inches.
Well, listen, I love LaMarcus Joyner. Look, the guy's a tackling machine. He's 5'8". He reminds me of Bob Sanders. Remember the old safety for the Colts?
Yeah. He's a stud.
He's a stud. He's that kind of a player. But I'm with you though on the we are definitely vertically challenged when it comes to our safeties.
Vertically challenged.
But maybe there's like a Nasir Adderley out of Delaware is a big safety. I know we kind of got our hand burned by Obi Melifonwu, but by taking a guy from a Northeast small school that's a size speed guy. But you never know. I mean, why not? So because I don't think the Raiders are done at safety. Do you? I don't think they're finished. I think they're
done.
Yeah.
I think they're done. And I honestly think Joyner is going to be rolled into that nickel cornerback more often than not.
Oh, that's a good point because he's really good at that, coming down low and playing that nickel like Tyrann Mathieu, frankly. That's
exactly.
Same kind of player there. Yeah, so that's a good call. All right, let's go to another one. All right, so we've been doing this segment, Sonny, called Raiders and Pop Culture. And so we're going to tie that into Sea of Fans because our buddy Houston Raider Steve, who's like our resident historian of the Raiders, he's always got amazing stories. And he had one this week, and he tells a story about Hunter Thompson and his involvement with the Raiders and an article that he wrote in Rolling Stone magazine back in the 70s, like 73. And so I thought it was a really cool story, and it kind of hits both beats. Not only is he a Sea of Fans caller, but it also is a Raiders and Pop Culture. So we're going to call that a dual segment on this call.
Hey, Mosh and Murph, Houston Raider Steve, Oakland Raider history. Back in 1972, Rolling Stone magazine sent Hunter Thompson, Fear and Loathing, gonzo journalist, to go cover the Oakland Raiders. And Ala Cosell said it was obvious from the few questions that Hunter asked that he wasn't there to write about the football team, that he was there to cause problems. He would be on the sideline for about a month, talking to Al about foreign affairs. One time he talked to Al about Al was trying to get property in Aspen, Colorado, and they were concerned about his Las Vegas connections, Al's. And Hunter said he was going to be the sheriff over there. He knows that somebody that was the sheriff. Anyway, so he would get passes. For a month he was on the sideline and talking to Al and stuff. A lot of the players couldn't believe it because nobody was never on the sidelines talking to Al, especially during practices. And after the games, they used to hang out at the Big Al's Cactus Room. A lot of the players liked him. But the problem was he was trying to give them cocaine and stuff to try to get them to open up about stuff. And Jim Otto said that he wasn't his kind of person because he didn't. That was during the time of hard drugs, cocaine, and all that jazz and everything. And that wasn't his scene and everything for Jim Otto. But anyway, so what the thing was is eventually after all that, Al banished him from the sidelines, but before that, he used to get up in the press box, be down on the sidelines, and hanging out with the players and everything like that. So they said that also that the living with the Oakland Raiders in the early 1970s was like it wasn't much different from living with the Hells Angels and everything. So anyway, so it was a short-lived thing. It was like I said, less than a month, but he was a huge Raider fan. Hunter Thompson, and I don't know, it's interesting, but Al figured out who Hunter Thompson was and everything due to the few questions that he did ask, but that's part of Raiders history, and I thought that I would send that in, and go Raiders.
So that's a pretty crazy story. So I want to ask you, Sonny, so, knowing who Hunter S. Thompson is and researching this article after I heard Steve's call, the Raiders were not happy about having him around. Like this was not like George Plimpton paper lion type thing. This was like he was forced on them. He was not a good guy. He didn't jive well with the players. There was obviously the substance stuff going on and all that. But out of that, but what Hunter did at least observe was, and he talked about the Raiders being like the Hells Angels, and that caught my attention because that reminded me a lot of what attracted your dad, my other uncles, that was the whole renegade Raiders of the 70s. Like that was a thing, and Al cultivated that. He wanted them to be like that. Right. And we are products of that exact thing, especially you, because your dad was right in the middle of all that, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've often wondered if Al Davis was a marketing genius or if he just stumbled upon that, and kind of what the originality and the origins of that were. Cause let's face it, we're still living on those memories today. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all talk about the Raiders being the Raiders. Like that's from now close to 40 years ago. The Raiders they've been the Raiders, for the last 25 years, know? And so we're all dying for them to get back to that. And it's almost like, we're all living off of that mystique now. and it's cool and it's fun and it's exciting, but I want my kids to have some mystique. I want to witness it. I want to live in it. I want to know what it's like for my team to be successful and walk into my office and be like, "What's up, punks?" And not have to defend them all the time and stuff like that.
Right,
So,
right.
So it'd be nice for that stuff to come back around, and maybe Chucky's going to get us there, and Mayok's going to help us get there and stuff like that. So, but yeah, yeah, my dad was biking. They told stories of walking into the Oakland Coliseum, with a milk jug full of beer and stuff like that, and how many stories stemmed from their times at the Oakland Coliseum and stuff. And it was just such a. I remember you talked about it once how like Kenny Stabler and Fred Biletnikoff were like your superheroes and stuff. They were like your folk heroes of the day and stuff. And so.
Yeah, listen,
sure, man.
Your dad and my Uncle Murph and my dad and Mosh and all of them, listening to them tell stories about the Raiders of the 70s. Yeah, they were, of course I was into Star Wars and all that stuff as a young kid, but outside of that, like Villapiano and all these like Stabler and Sistrunk and, just their names alone, the Man from Mars and Kick Him in the Head Ted and the Mad Stork and Assassin and you know what I mean? And all that stuff and Dr.
And the names
Death
of the plays and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. It was like they were
folklore. Yeah, it was crazy.
It was like myth, and so yeah, they were larger than life characters to me by far. And I got, because that wasn't, you couldn't YouTube highlights. You couldn't go and watch stuff on ESPN or whatever. All that stuff got passed on to me from your dad telling me stories about, and I know he obviously did you as well, but but that's where all that came from. And so, yeah, that's where their origins of my family.
I think I've shared this before on here, but when my dad passed, he didn't have, he had stuff lying around, but he had this one briefcase just full of random crap in there, and he had newspaper clippings from the 70s of like the stats for the game and stuff like that, dude. Like that's how hardcore he was, man. For this is 40 years earlier. He was keeping the stats from the games and stuff like that. And like, that's nuts, like I think sometimes we forget how nice it is. We're like, oh, what's the Raiders depth chart? Click, click, click. Oh, what's the Raiders cap space?
Yeah,
click, click, click.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Like we forget how it was back in the day and stuff. And so I've kept those clippings and stuff. I have them in another place in my office.
Oh, sweet.
But yeah, man, just kind of super cool,
That's
crazy.
Cool. That's cool. Right on. Right on. Yeah, your dad was OG, man. He was, he fostered a lot of this. Him and my Uncle Murph. That's my dad's youngest brother and Sonny's dad were best friends, and so and they were they were my heroes too.
They're the reason this podcast exists.
They are the reason this podcast exists. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so hey, real quick, earlier today. Even though it's Sonny, it's in the tampering period, right? You're not supposed to.
This is the legal tampering.
The legal tampering period. But LaMarcus Joyner and Carl Joseph apparently made a joint appearance, and must have been like on an Instagram or something. And the Raiders.
I know it wasn't to ride a roller coaster.
And the Raiders fan radio microphones were there. So let's go ahead and check in with that real quick. All right, congratulations to LaMarcus Joyner becoming a part of the Oakland Raiders.
Morning, fellas. It's Mojo in San Diego. Woke up here in sunny SoCal. Got some good news this Sunday morning. We got a new Ferrari for Coach Gruden to play with. Just wanted to throw some stuff out of you, man. I've been social media. I think he broke the internet. People been tearing me up, man. Just a lot of hate. A this, A B that, yada yada yada. How old he is? 31. Can you believe they're telling me that since he's 31 years old, he's too old? Jerry Rice put up his biggest numbers ever when he was 33. I think we're good, and I'm excited to see. You can tell already that the guy can't wait to put the uniform on. He gets it. He understands the heritage and the history, and he's ready to perform. Sky's the limit. I think Mayock and Gruden really made it look easy, man. These guys did this right. What we gave up for him and the potential of what we're getting is totally one-sided. We got Amari Cooper gone, who didn't care about being a Raider. Got a first-round draft pick for him, kept that first-round draft pick, and gave away a 3 and a 5 for quite possibly the best receiver in the league.
All right. So, hey, Sonny, I want to run this by you. So I'm sorry there, Mojo's call got cut off. So it's something that's interesting is that I've heard a lot of people say that, oh, Al Davis would be smiling on this one, man, if he would have loved the idea of Antonio Brown. And I agree with that sentiment. I think the difference between this Raiders and Al Davis's Raiders, especially at the latter part of his career, is what Mojo said. They did it the right way, didn't they?
Yeah, Davis would have gave him like $170 million guaranteed towards the end of his career. But no, they did it the right way. And what I love is that he made the point, we still have all our draft picks. Like one of the things I thought of, and I think I heard it somewhere, is that if we would have flipped the first round draft pick that we got from the Cowboys for Cooper for Antonio Brown, we all would have said that's a win, right? Because it was like we basically traded Amari Cooper for Antonio Brown.
Right.
Who wouldn't want that? But we got Antonio Brown, and we still have 3 first-round draft picks. And then you pointed out, because I was sitting there going, man, we're throwing away a lot of money. Why don't we just pay Mac? Well, Mac got what, $90 million guaranteed?
Yeah.
Right? And so, we gave Antonio Brown 30. I think we gave Trent Brown close to 30, right?
Yep.
I don't know how much we gave the second half of the Lollipop Kids. But, we got these players for the money we would have had to give Mac, and we still have 3 first-round draft picks. And so part of me is going, what are you doing, Gruden? Like, is this a rebuild? Is this a retool? Is this figure out what you have in 2018, find out where the holes are, and as we ramp up to Vegas? Because, like, we're bringing in veterans. We still have all these great draft picks. It's kind of like, and I hear a lot of the professional analysts on TV saying this. They're like, you can't believe Gruden because it's not a rebuild because he's bringing in all these veterans, but he's holding on to these draft picks. It's kind of like we got the best of both worlds, right? We got all this free money to use, and we have all these draft picks to use as well and stuff, And so I'm thinking he's kind of giving us weapons. He likes his veterans. Look what he did with Rice and Tim Brown back in the day. So we know he knows the value of a veteran. Antonio Brown is a diva, but he's the hardest working diva in the NFL, according to a lot of reports and stuff like that. So hopefully he'll come in and bring that culture. And then we have the draft picks to draft, front 7, right? Fix our pass rush, or maybe help shore up the offensive line. What's going to go on with Donald Penn? How long is Hudson going to be around for, And so there just seems to be a lot of room to play and room to do what we need to do and stuff like that. And regarding Le'Veon Bell, we don't need Le'Veon Bell. Why do you need a running back, right? What do you need a running back for anymore in the NFL, right? So, like, I don't think Le'Veon Bell's worth the money he would eat up to bring over to the Raiders, and that especially since we got Lynch sitting there and Chris Warren III sitting there as well and stuff. So, anyway, man.
Yeah, I agree with those wholeheartedly. I think that's a great point. And, we're big fans of Chris Warren III, man. And you're right. The money, man. I mean, you're not going to get him at $7, $8, $9 million. You're talking about 15, 16, 17 million, right? And that just overshoots his value, especially based on what the Raiders' needs are. So I'm with you, Sonny. Okay, next up, we got a new caller. I believe it's Raider Juan. It was hard to hear his first name, but let's hear from him.
Yeah, this is Raider Juan. I'm calling you first time caller. I just want to know what you think about, us getting a Marcus Jr. and Brown, the offensive lineman from the New England Patriots, because I hear he wasn't that good when, before he got to the Patriots, the offensive lineman. And once he got there, he got good. And now that he's going to be out of there to the Raiders, he's going to go back to being bad. So I just want to know what they think and see if this is not, because he joins the Raiders, he's going to be a bad guy now. I just wanted to see what you think about that and about Brown, the wide receiver we got from Pittsburgh. And, you guys, Uncle Mosh and Murph, take care and God bless you.
All right, Juan, appreciate the phone call there. And, Sonny, you kind of prophesied that one a little bit. You just touched on Brown. And then also you brought that up, that about Patriots that go on in their career to other places that typically they don't perform real well there. So what do you think about Juan's comment?
About LaMarcus Joyner?
Well, I'm sorry, he brought up Joyner first, but he also brought up Brown about him leaving the Patriots, and is he going to kind of fall off now?
Yeah, I mean, time will tell. Time will tell if it was the system. Brady doesn't hold on to the ball very long, and so can Gruden have a system?
Point.
Yes. And so, was Brown, did his numbers benefit from how fast Brady got rid of the ball? Well, I'm sure they did. Now, Carr got rid of the ball, I think, faster than anybody in the league last year. And part of that, is he scared, or is that the way Gruden was doing it and stuff? But I think the bigger question mark is LaMarcus Joyner, because in 2017, he was like one of the top rated safeties in the whole entire league.
Yeah.
And then in 2018, he fell off. And so now it's coming back around like, all right, well, who is this guy? And did the Rams change up their scheme in 2018? Did they play a little more aggressive, so he got beat more deep, kind of who is this guy going to be? And is it the 2017 version or 2018 version? Who knows, but I like that Paul Gunther has a lot more weapons now to use on defense, and at least with Joyner and who we're going to draft and all that stuff, So, and I think we just re-signed Hankins, right? Didn't we?
Yeah. Jonathan Hankins. Yeah, we got like 5 defensive tackles now. So that idea, anybody that's thinking Quinnen Williams, if he's on the board at 4, that's the Raiders' move. I don't think so. I think we got 5 guys, man, on the team. You got Hankins, as Sonny mentioned. We got Eddie Vanderdoes. We got Justin Jelly Ellis. You got PJ Hall, who we just spent a second-round pick on, and we got Mo Hurst. Like, we don't need a defensive tackle.
I think Hurst had a sneaky dominant season, dude. Like, he was one of in the tops up there for sacks as the defensive tackle and stuff. And like, that was such a steal, dude, getting him in the 5th. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. Totally agree. I think he's one of my favorite new Raiders by far.
Yeah.
All right. So before we go back to voicemails, let's do another email. We're going to hear from Haley, who I see is in the chat there. Haley from Scotland, Sonny. Antonio Brown for 3rd and 5th. Wow. Delighted with that. Absolute steal. Way to get cracking with free agency. The fact that Derek Carr is excited makes me even more excited by it. Now to get some protection for Carr so he has the time to get the ball to AB. The draft will be interesting. Friday booked off work so I can stay up for it and hopefully catch RFR live. Awesome. Thank you, Haley.
Well, she just said you're high, though, in the chat, so maybe you shouldn't thank her.
Oh no. Really? No, I don't partake. Did she really say that? I can't see it.
I think she's talking about not drafting Williams.
Oh, okay. Well,
I agree with her. If Williams is there, you got to take him, dude. He's done.
Why?
Like, we had no pass rush last year. Come on, man. You have to take Williams.
No, I think you trade out. But
what?
For
who?
You
Why?
can get into endless circles of hypothetical discussions when it comes to the draft. But it's why? Because we don't need him.
Yeah, you do. Our pass rush sucked
We
last
need
year.
a freaking edge rusher way more than we need an interior pass rush. And if you can pull Montez Sweat later on in the draft, well, then you trade back. You acquire more picks, and then you pull somebody like Montez Sweat or the other Allen from Boston College or whatever. There's plenty of
Josh Allen. Yeah.
Well, Josh Allen. No, that's the guy from Kentucky. That's the guy that That's the guy we want. And that's the guy. And you know what else? And here's something else that might be crazy. No one's really talking about this one, but put this in your craw, Raider Nation. What if the Raiders trade up and go get him? Because they're talking about the Jets wanting him and the
trade
Niners.
Up and get who? Josh Allen?
Josh Allen. Going up to 2 or 3. Murray goes 1. We move up. Bosa goes 2. We move up to the Niners spot and grab Josh Allen at 3. Of course, you got to have a dance partner. It's not this. You just because I think it doesn't mean it can happen, because you got to have somebody else willing to do it. But dude, I think that's the guy. I mean, who else, man? Because, I'm with you as far as like in terms of straight talent, best player on the board. Yeah, I get the idea of Quinnen Williams, but does that fit a need on the team? Like, we have glaring issues on this football team, and defensive tackle is not one of them.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's
true.
Just my thought. All right, so continuing on with Haley here. Could we see a winning last season in Oakland? I hope so. I'm keeping the faith with Gruden and Mayock. Also hoping to get over to Oakland to see a game this year. If not, at least we have London. Just a quick one this time around. Go Raiders. Just win, baby. Haley from Scotland. And here's a few pics from London just because I'm missing football. And she sent some pictures of her there at the London game. So very cool to hear from Haley. Always cool to hear from our Silver and Black UK folks. And so Sonny, she mentioned she's going to get to a game in Oakland this year. I know that the schedule's not out, so it's hard for you and I both with families and stuff to kind of put things on the map. But have you had any you putting any thumbtacks in any games in particular that if it lines up with the schedule you want to go see?
Well, yeah, man, I would love to get back to Oakland one more time. Being that we know this is the last year, if everything goes well construction wise and stuff like that. I love seeing the rivalry games. I would love to see Raiders Chiefs If I had to pick one,
Yeah.
in Oakland for the one last kind of hurrah, especially if we're good this year. But they just picked up. I think they just got Tyrann Mathieu, which I think is a sneaky good pickup for them. Yeah, that'd be the one that I want to go to, man. Is Raiders Chiefs. What about you?
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, we've seen the Broncos
and the
Chargers. So we've seen our division except for the Chiefs. We've not yet seen that. And I think that, we'll be in a position to be more competitive. So I think that's the one. And, and regardless, I know we're going to have raviolis at La Villa, so I'm good. You know what I mean? Matter. Like the food's going to be right.
The purpose of the trip is La Villa's, and then we try to tie in a Raider game too to pretend we're fans. Like bringing our Derek Carr jerseys and all.
Yeah. I got to get off our Derek Carr jerseys.
Yeah. Mojo's going to the Chiefs game in Oakland.
Is he? Well, see, there you go. See, and it'd be fun. And we, of course, I was out there this last year for the week 1 game, but I had it tied in with a work trip. So it was like, I kind of took I was already on the West Coast. So I kind of took advantage of already being there and slid up to a game. I would love to have a planned trip with all of us where we can go do a proper tailgate. And cause we were in D-Lot, we were in the right spot, and we got to hook up with the Black Hole and Emiliano we saw. And I still got to see a lot of cool people, but it would have been nice to have like a full on, produced podcast, a live stream from, and all that good stuff.
We got to take these guys to La Villa's.
Oh, dude, like an RFR field trip?
Yeah.
Do an outing to La Villa?
Like an RFR meetup on Saturday before the game at La Villa's. Like tailgating's cool and all, but let's go to La Villa's, bro. Let's go get some raviolis. Like
that's legit.
You guys don't know what's up.
That's a phenomenal idea. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, we have to do
the first ever meeting of the Nomad Raiders Booster Club at La Villa's.
At La Villa's, dude.
At
Sweet.
La Villa's.
Love it. All right, let's go to another call here. Let's hear from our buddy. We hear from Dave. He's I Like It Spooky in the chat. I don't think he's in there tonight, but he joins us in the chat quite a bit, and he broke off his first phone call here to the Sea of Fans mailbag.
Hey, this is Dave. You guys would know me as I Like It Spooky. This is my first time calling in. I just had to comment on the Antonio Brown thing. I kind of went from being like not thinking it was a good idea, due to his off-field drama and the price it would have cost us to get the guy and all those sort of things. But the fact that it only cost us a third and a fifth, and now that we've got him and going back and doing my homework and seeing how much he liked Derek Carr and how much Derek Carr was really excited about getting him on the team, you can't argue with the guy's production, So I've kind of turned my opinion around, and I'm pretty excited to have the guy on the team. I'm just curious to know what you guys think. I'm sure you're probably going to be covering in the next episode anyway. But anyway, just kind of wanted to chime in, say hi to everybody, and thanks for taking my call. Go Raiders.
All right, appreciate the phone call. Sonny, I changed my tune real quick on Antonio Brown. How about you?
What, when he signed with our team?
Yeah, my opinion of him was he's a diva, he's got baggage, he's a distraction, he's all that stuff. But not just because he's a Raider, but then actually started looking back into
come on, that's how fandom works. That's how F that guy, he sucks. Got traded to the Raiders. Dude, that's awesome.
He's the greatest receiver in football.
He's the greatest receiver ever. What did he get? 240 against us? Isn't that what he got? Did he get 240 receiving yards against us?
I don't remember. That was that one game, man, where he absolutely single-handedly killed us. Yes, he ripped out our hearts.
Touchdown. It's like the most yards ever without scoring a touchdown by a receiver. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, he ripped out our hearts a couple of different. Of course, this last time, though, Conley shut him down.
Conley did. Well, and you know what? This is the sneaky good thing about this. Garyon Conley now gets to go up against one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. So that way, when he goes to a game, it's a downgrade of who he's been going up against in practice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant and Jordan both always talked about how Phil Jackson made practice more intense. That way, when he got to a game, it was easier than practice. And so Garyon Conley, I think, might be one of the guys to benefit from this whole thing the most, because he's going to go up against Brown every single day and then step on the field and, go against mediocre talent for the most part and stuff like that. So
that's an amazing point. Amazing point. Yeah. All right. Next up, we're going to hear from our buddy Beto in, the city.
Later, Beto. The city. Anyway, we just got Antonio Brown, which I'm still shell shocked, to be honest, because it's like, he went to the Bills and then he's like, no, I'm not going to be a Bill. And then now he's a Raider. And then it's like 24 hours passed. It was announced. So yeah, he's a Raider. So I got to get a Jerry Porter jersey and just tape over, Porter's name and just put Brown on it now. But anyway, Coleccio Assembly got traded to the Jets, which, I mean, I'm indifferent about it because I like Coleccio Assembly, and an underrated part of Coleccio Assembly was that he helped out Colton Miller a lot when he played. But and also the funny part is Antonio Brown got traded for a third and a fifth rounder, while damn Cowboys gave up a first round for Amari Cooper, who led the league in drops. Damn Cowboys got screwed, huh? But anyway, and Coleccio Assembly, we gave a sixth, which is the Bears pick that they gave us, and we got a fifth round pick. So technically, we didn't really lose a fifth round pick. We just got it back right away. So it's Sunday right now, and there's probably some more transaction that's happened with the Raiders. And, well, also with the Coleccio Assembly trade, freed up $10 million in cap space, and also the Jets had to take up his contract. And remember, the Jets are the leading team for Le'Veon Bell. Now the Jets got to take over KO, and then Derek Carr's following Le'Veon Bell on Twitter. Then I don't know what's going to happen. But we'll see. It's going to be a very interesting offseason. As always, go Raiders.
All right, what do you think about that KO trade there, Sonny, to the Jets?
We knew it was coming. I mean, that was he was expendable. He served his purpose here. A couple years ago we had the best offensive line in the NFL, so that was pretty fun. And again, it should make you appreciate what 2016 was the last couple years, because gosh dang, we were so close, and we had a dominant offensive line and stuff like that. So, but it was time to go. He was expendable. I was cracking up in the chat. Mojo Raider states, Kraft paid $25 for a dirty walrus. I think I did in Thailand once too.
The chat's the best, man. That's the best.
But another thought about Antonio Brown, it's like, who's going to benefit on the receiving core from Antonio Brown being there? Because obviously he's going to draw a double. So is Aitman going to step up? Is Roberts going to step up?
Jordy,
is
man.
Nelson going to see
I think Jordy's the guy. Yeah.
You think Jordy? I
think so, man. I think that's one of the things that hurt him most was that, look, he doesn't have the speed. He doesn't have the breakaway. We saw that when he got chased down by, Miami Dolphin linebackers. He doesn't have that breakaway speed anymore, but he's got enough. He's got the move still. You know what I mean? And
he's shifty.
He's shifty still. And I think that, when you double, but you can bracket that, right? But you can't, but if you can get him singled up, I think he becomes a lot more viable of an option. I still think that it's interesting what we're going to do at the slot. I feel like we're going to still maybe draft somebody there or whatever, because don't you feel like the NFL is, and I guess it's been going this way for a little while now, but don't you feel like that's really with the emergence of guys like Edelman and Golden Tate and like players like that,
it's that quick strike offense because you can't press the slot and stuff like that. So
exactly. So I think that in those slants and stuff, like those are hard to defend, man. If you got a guy that's got the balls to go over the middle like that and can kind of get the ball and then get down, so I think that's in play for the Raiders. I feel like we're going to go that direction at some point as well. So yeah, good stuff there. And there's a few guys like that in the draft. Plus, I think Cole Beasley's already signed, but there's that Andy Isabella in the draft, and there's a handful of other guys as well. So it'll be interesting. All right, let's go to Tucson, Arizona, and hear from our buddy Alex.
Uncle Mosh, Murph, this is Alex Sandoval from Tucson, Arizona. Just calling in on this beautiful Sunday morning to find out that the Raiders have traded for Antonio Brown. Super excited that Derek Carr has somebody to finally throw it to, that's not Jared Cook, and I think it's awesome. I'm really excited about it. I hope that he can keep his act together and not let outside of football problems affect the team. I think John Gruden can handle him. I think that the coaches are going to be able to handle him. But this isn't over. I mean, I feel like we still need to go get another complimentary receiver or maybe even a complimentary running back to complete this process. Otherwise, people are just going to be double, triple teaming Antonio Brown. He's not going to have the impact that we need him to have because, any other receivers or any other good receivers. So there's just one more step to go, but I'm really happy about the trade. What do you guys think? Thanks. Bye.
There you go, Sonny. Perfect setup again, huh?
There you go. Yeah, and Aitman started coming on towards the end. He had kind of a good year there towards the end. He was making some good catches and stuff. But, Cook, is he gone basically in your eyes?
I think so, man. I think, and Yeah, I think considering the money, he's got to be, right? Because someone's going to overpay for him. You know what I mean? I think the Raiders are doing the right thing by letting him.
I wouldn't
go
even
test
say
the market.
overpay. I mean, he's worth it.
Well, that's true.
Is he worth it to the Raiders at this point? You know?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I don't know, man. Because here's I think is the really what's going to drive it for the Raiders is that how good is Darren Waller? Because Darren Waller is a young, fast, lanky, athletic tight end. Now, we don't know what he's going to turn into because he's young, man. He's 26 or something like that. So, I think that depending on how much faith they have in him is going to drive what they're willing to do with Jared Cook. Because, look, I think that aside from, Kelsey and I always forget the guy's name in Philadelphia. They're Zach Ertz. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, aside from, like, maybe those two guys, like, Jared Cook's the best tight end in football, right? As far as, like, you know what I mean?
Stud.
He's a stud. You know what I mean? So I'm with you. So he's going to get the money, but I just don't know if the Raiders are in a position to pay, $10 million for a tight end. I don't know, man. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. All right, let's go to our buddy Eye Patch down in Florida.
Murph, Mosh, Eye Patch here. Hey, one scenario real quick I want to run by you. Can you imagine this? The 2019 NFL Draft with the 4th pick, the Oakland Raiders select offensive lineman. Oh, no! Oh, no, not again!
You know what? I've said a few times, Eye Patch, thanks for the call, by the way, that I thought that the first offensive player the Raiders will take in this draft is going to be a lineman. But now that was before Trent Brown, but it still wouldn't surprise me. I know better than to fall in love with players, but I really like Chris Lindstrom out of Boston College. We saw him down at the Senior Bowl. He is an absolute stud at guard, and he would fit in perfect for what we need. So I like that idea. But what do you think, Sonny? What do you think of the odds are of the Raiders taking another lineman?
Is the offensive line set at this point in your eyes?
No. Well, not by position anyways.
No. So I don't think it would surprise me at all. And honestly, it's a smart move. Look what the Colts did. The Colts knew Luck was coming back, so they went all in on offensive line. I think you have to start in the trenches. It's not sexy. It's not happy, but, the problem is it going to pan out? Because Colton Miller, and I'll give him some leeway because he was hurt, so to say. But, last year was a disaster for everybody across the board. And so, but Brandon Parker, is Brandon Parker going to do anything,
talk about moving him to guard now. So
right. And so Donald Penn, what's up with Donald Penn?
Talk about cutting him.
Yeah. And so, I think we have to address the offensive line, and Trent Brown was a good pickup, but again, he's a question mark. Is he Patriot system or is he actually legit and stuff? So it wouldn't surprise me at all. I think we need defense more, but at the same time, I'll be happy if they go defensive end or line and then offensive line with the second pick in the first round.
I think that's a key point is that, I think there's good regardless of where you come out, that no matter where the Raiders go position wise, there's good in it. There's not one where I'm going to, maybe a defensive line.
Maybe cornerback. Like we did with
I know, that was crazy, dude, right? We were all thinking inside linebacker that whole way. But you know what? But something you touched on there, like I think about like the Cowboys when they were drafting all those linemen, all those years. They got so much crap. Every analyst and the fan, everybody's like, why are we drafting another lineman? Now, guess what? They've had the best offensive line in football for 4 years running now?
Yeah, their running back only wears a half a shirt because he's not even going to get hit.
Exactly. So I it would not surprise me. Now, I don't think at 4 that's the responsible move. But again, the Raiders trade back a little bit, and you never know. All right, next up, let's go to Central Valley Raider.
Hey, Murph, this is Central Valley Raider. Hey, just calling in, man, to chime in on the recent moves. I know we just signed AD over the weekend, and today, this morning, we signed the left tackle, Trenton Brown. One thing I'm excited about is that Mayock and Gruden are not playing.
Nope.
I find it amusing on Twitter, and people complaining that Raiders are spending a lot of money. They're acting like if it's coming out of their own personal account. It's kind of a joke. If we didn't do anything and stand pat, we'd get criticized, for maybe playing safe, But no, we're going out there making some moves. Yeah, I was kind of unhappy to see KO go. But I think it was a mutual agreement, and for whatever reason, because seeing KO's comment on Twitter,
You know, he still got the love for everybody, the organization, thanking the organization, nothing bitter, which is always good for us in the long run. So, I mean, hopefully he's successful over there in New York. We get to play him this year. Left tackle was definitely, a position that I thought was right tackle, what we were looking at, but I guess Colton's moving over. So, and he's played right tackle at UCLA. That's a good win-win for us. The AB thing, I'm still kind of, I'm excited because we got him for a 3rd and 5th, but still I'm just kind of waiting to see when things are just not clicking, how he's going to react, how he's going to respond. So I guess we'll see what's going to happen today. They're talking about Le'Veon Bell possibly going with the Raiders. We'll see. At the end, the final thing I have, man, is, one thing McKenzie did for the Raider organization was get us back focused on the money aspect. We had a lot of bad contracts. I think McKenzie took care of that, kept us away from a lot of dead money. I just hope Mayock and Gruden doesn't put us back in that hole and we end up in Las Vegas 1 or 2 years after we're there. We're broke. We got to cut some good players because we can't afford them. So hopefully they're keeping that in mind, and we just move forward, man. All right. Have a great one.
One of the things I read earlier today, Murph, is that I believe the contracts for both Antonio Brown and Trent Brown, all the guaranteed money is paid out in the first 2, if not 3 years, but I think it's the first 2 years. Why is that important?
Because it gets them Vegas money, right? When they
no, because then the 3 first-round draft picks will be in line to get their contracts.
Oh, yeah.
And so he made a great point. McKenzie, for whatever you want to say about him, he stabilized us. He walked in. We had, what did we have, like $80 million? We had so much dead money one year. It was ridiculous.
And no picks.
We didn't have any draft picks. So McKenzie stabilized us. He may not have brought us to where we want to go, but he could be the Mark Jackson to what Mayock is of the Steve Kerr, so to say, in the Warriors analogy there. And so he stabilized us, put us in a good position. I hope Mayock and Gruden know what they're doing. Gruden's kind of crazy. So we'll see what happens. But I read that they structured the contracts that way when the 3 first-rounders this year are due for new contracts, then there's no more guaranteed money being paid out to Brown and Brown.
I got you.
We'll see what happens.
That's cool, man. I had not heard that. I heard that a lot of Brown's money got deferred to year 2 because that way he was on Nevada income tax, which there is none in Nevada. There's no state income tax. Yeah. So that saved him
more money for dirty walruses. That money.
Exactly. Absolutely. So, but I hadn't considered the whole idea of being able to cover these picks. That's a great point, Sonny. That's good analysis there. All right, let's go. We got just a few more here. Let's hear from our buddy Dave in the 330. Called last week, didn't leave his name. Called this week, left his name, and this is his second call. So, Dave, call us back one more time after this one, and you'll be a made man.
What up, Raider Nation? It's Dave out in the 330 Ohio here. I'm just calling on the talk about the Le'Veon Bell situation. No, we're not going to get him. If we do, that'd be great. But let's talk about Antonio Brown. That's what I meant to say. So I'm happy about this. I think he's a great receiver. He's a bit of a headache for Pittsburgh, but I have a theory on that, and I'll get to a little bit of pop culture news on that. So he did an episode of Tanked where they made him a fish tank, and in that, I don't think his heart was ever in Pittsburgh, man. In that, he goes down to his weight room or whatever down, and he's showing them that, and he calls it the dog pound, is what he calls his little workout room in his house. So if you're playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers, if your heart was there, you would not be working out in the dog pound. That'd be like a chief freaking calling his weight room the black hole. It just doesn't happen. So I'm going to say he was never there in Pittsburgh. I'm hoping that means we're not going to have the same problems in Oakland. I'm not going to say he won't have some problems. He's got some attitude and stuff, which is good. I think we need a receiver with some attitude. We need one that can catch the ball and that shows up every game, or at least over half of them. So overall, I think it's a good thing. Besides, I work out in Pittsburgh quite a bit. The city's stupid, man. You can't drive around anywhere. There's hills and turns and bridges everywhere. It takes way too long to get anywhere. Traffic sucks. Stupid. Pittsburgh sucks. Mike Tomlin sucks. Go Raiders.
Pittsburgh sucks.
Stupid.
Mike Tomlin sucks. Go
Raiders.
Raiders.
Like piss everywhere.
I love it.
Yeah, but here's the deal, Murph. No, but there's no loyalty in the NFL anymore. It's all business. Yeah. So of course, he didn't give a crap about playing in Pittsburgh. I guarantee he ain't gonna give a crap about playing in Oakland because as crappy as Pittsburgh is, when's the last time you've been to Oakland? At least where the stadium is.
Oh, careful now. You're going to trigger everybody.
I don't care. When you go there, do you want to spend time in Oakland? Come on now.
No, we stay in San Jose.
Especially the stadium. Stadium's a crap hole. Yeah. And so, but it's my crap hole. It's kind of like I can make fun of my sister, but if anybody else does, you're getting two black eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like that. And so, yes, why did he have the dog pound? But come on, man. There's no loyalty in the NFL. Absolutely none. It used to be the most loyal people in the NFL are the fans, and we're the stupid ones because the players aren't loyal and the people running the show aren't loyal. We're the ones going, dude, come on, like, come on, man, give me a break.
Yeah.
But that comment was great about Pittsburgh.
That was great, man. Good call. Appreciate it, Dave. Call us back, man, one more time, buddy. And you'll get your button. All right, next up, we got two more left. Let's hear from our buddy Junior in San Diego. Here's another OG guy, Sonny.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? Junior San Diego here. First of all, Mikey, I just listened to this podcast, and Murph was on, and you guys were saying that we got that New England got our left tackle for a seventh rounder. That's incorrect. 49ers first drafted him. And then awesome pickup for 3 and 5 pick, Antonio. We signed good. And then just coming across my TV here now is Odell Beckham Jr. getting traded to the Browns, and everybody's on saying that this is a badass pickup. They're not saying any negative news about they just gave up a first and third and Jibble Preppers when we got Antonio for a third and a fifth. And everybody's raving about the trade, that this is global. Come on. We got probably the best of our receiver, and all negative things our way. But anyway, I trust in Gruden, Mayock, and I don't think Antonio's going to be a negative for the 3 years that he's going to be here. I think it's going to be all good because Carr and him going to probably have a good relationship. Coleccio Semele, hate to see him go, but kind of feels like he got paid and got lazy. I know that we weren't a good team, but I mean, five games missed last year and then everybody thinks he should have missed less. I kind of think he was just being lazy. But awesome. I love his fiery attitude. He was a beast, but the last 2 years he was on his downslide. But anyway, been listening to you guys. Hope to hear you guys more. And go Raiders.
All right, appreciate the call, Junior. Great call as usual, my friend. And yeah, Sonny, interesting point there. KO's catching some crap, huh? He's all the reports is that he missed a lot more with that injury than maybe he should have, and that doesn't sit well with Gruden. Gruden wants you to be as invested and as committed as he is, and if you're not, even a little bit, it doesn't work. So when KO was on, and as he mentioned, I mean, he was a dog, man. He was scrappy. We loved the attitude and that he brought to the line, the grit. You know what I mean? But this last couple of years, man, he's trended downward since 2016.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a weak take. If the Raiders are serious about that, he shouldn't have missed more. That's like your boss calling you up when you're freaking puking and crapping at the same time. Like, hey, why come you're not at work? Like, come on, bro. So I don't know. I think it's kind of a weak take. But one thing I thought of why he was saying that is more about the Antonio Brown versus Odell Beckham. How crazy is the Mac trade now in light of Antonio Brown being traded and Odell Beckham being traded and Landon Collins being traded from the Giants? Like, it kind of, I think it almost takes pressure off of Gruden that, like, because, all last year it was any game you watched, it was the Raiders traded Mac. How stupid is that? Now it's like the Giants traded Collins and Beckham. Steelers got rid of Brown and probably going to get rid of Bell. Like, it kind of takes a little bit of the heat off the Raiders, don't you think?
Yeah, and I think it really supports what we've been saying for a long, long time, is that you can't have that kind of money tied up in that few players. And the Giants were the only team in the NFL that had two players that made more than $20 million a year, and it lasted for a year. Like, it just doesn't work. The Bears are already reworking Khalil Mack's contract. Eventually, you're going to have to pay Mitch Trubisky. Eventually, the Chiefs are going to have to pay Patrick Mahomes. Eventually, these players are eventually going to get paid, especially the quarterbacks, and there's just not enough to go around. So the Raiders took a fair assessment of that. Was Khalil Mack worth the kind of commitment that he and his agent were asking for? And the answer to that was no. I was talking about last night on Mondays with Mikey Murph. It's like there's the crazy hot scale. Like, and a player has a value on the field, and then obviously a monetary value, and you have to weigh those out. And sometimes it costs you a freaking Hall of Famer, but you can't do that because you just compromise your ability to be on everything else. And it's like, there's a look, as dominant as he can be, and as dominant as players like Aaron Donald could be. Did Aaron Donald as good as he played all year long, defensive MVP, all that? Did they win the Super Bowl?
I was having the same conversation with the guy at work. He
they
was saying,
negated
"Man, you
him.
guys are dumb for trading Mac." Did the Bears win? Nope. Did the Rams win? Nope.
And they negated him in the Super Bowl. Aaron Donald was complete. You can negate a player. What you can't negate is a squad. You can't negate the Legion of Boom. You can't negate the Soul Patrol. You can't negate the 85 Bears defense. You can't negate. Do you want to be great, Raider Nation, or do you want to have a great player? Like, I want our team to be great, and teams are great based on groups of players, not singular players.
Exactly.
This isn't basketball. You can't put, a great player on a team and all of a sudden they're going to be competitive and make the playoffs. It doesn't work.
Example, LA Lakers, dumpster fire.
Well, that's different because he's not even playing like he's the best player in basketball now. But you know what I'm saying, though? Like, you can't.
Yeah. No, I agree. I wholeheartly agree. We've been saying that ever since.
Yeah.
I just think that now with these other big names being traded, that's going to take the heat off of Gruden.
Absolutely.
And we still have first round draft. Like, it's crazy how they still have all those draft picks, man.
It's great. Absolutely. Real quick before we move on, we were talking about slot receiver a few minutes ago, and Q-Dog brought up Randall Cobb. Of course, Q-Dog is a Kentucky guy, University of Kentucky alum, but I'm with you on Randall Cobb. He's amazing, and I brought him up last night on Mondays with Mikey and Murph. I've always been a fan of Randall Cobb anyways, and he's only like 29. So match him back up with Jordy Nelson, put him in the slot. That's a perfect solution to what the Raiders are going to need.
We have 2015's most stubbiest wide receivers on the team.
The absolute studs, no doubt.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. So here's our last call of the day, and I saved this one for last because this guy is one of we have a lot of favorites. He's definitely one of them, and he busts out a line on here, Sonny, that had me crying in my chair earlier when I was putting together the Sea of Fans. So here we go. Let's hear from our buddy Wyoming Raider.
Bosh, Murph, Wyoming Raider here. I just wanted to call in, touch base on the Antonio Brown trade. I think we did pretty good. If you think about it, we gave up Bull Gerbil in a third and a fifth for Antonio freaking Brown in a first. You can't complain about that at all. I see some people complaining about how he's going to make the most money for a wide receiver, but not really when you think about it. I mean, he's 3 years, only $30 million of it's guaranteed. That's a number one right receiver in the NFL for $10 million a year. If we'd have hung on to Bull Gerbil, he'd have been sitting on his nuts on the side, little tiny nuts on the sideline, $17 million a year. So, I mean, if he pulls a Randy on us, we're not out that much money. If he goes out there and balls out big, I'll call him big chest after 3 years of him doing it. Then yeah, nobody's going to care about how much money we spent on him if he's out there winning games for us. So I say good deal. And we picked up a good tackle from the Patriots, picked up a good safety from the Rams. I think we're doing pretty good. I like this Mike Mayock character. He's going in there and he's showing what's what, and he's making good deals. So hopefully next season we'll, 8-8 be all right. Maybe even a little bit better than that. Who knows? But I guess we'll see. And keep up the good work. We'll talk to you guys later. Go Raiders.
Oh my gosh!
Wyoming Raider is the real life version of Ron Swanson. Like that guy. I love that guy, man. Remember he used to call back in the day and be like, "Where'd you come from, Wyoming? Chopping down a tree with a freaking butter knife?"
Dude, when he busted out sitting on his tiny nuts on the sideline, that was, oh my gosh. Look at it, my glasses are fogging up.
Oh, that's good.
Dude, that's the funniest
I needed
thing.
that. I needed that deep voice talking about tiny
man,
nuts.
That's such a, hey, you know what that means, Sonny?
Sizzler.
Sizzler. Sizzler. Sizzler. Sizzler.
Sizzler.
Oh,
Sizzler.
man.
Oh my gosh, man! I'm telling you, I listened to it a couple times. I was putting this together, so I've heard it already a couple times. I was dying. I was absolutely dying. I'm crying again already. But man, that's so funny. Sitting on his tiny nuts.
Good. Sitting
So
on his tiny.
hey,
And he's right. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm saying, like, got rid of Cooper and got Brown and stuff. 3 first-round draft picks. Like, I was gonna be cool giving up a first-round draft pick for Brown, but we didn't even have to do that. You know, so far so good, man. So far so good.
Absolutely. Well, man, so thank you to everybody that called in tonight. Lots of calls in the Sea of Fans mailbag, and you guys are the best. We are Raider Nation is no joke, man. We are the best fans in sports, and you guys represent them amazingly well. So, thank you so much to, of course, Capo Q Dog, Chuck Splatterhead McCann, Big Raider Trucker, Houston Raider Steve, Mojo, Raider Juan, Spooky Dave, Beto, Alex in Tucson, iPatch, Central Valley Raider, Dave in the 330, Junior in San Diego, Wyoming Raider. Thank you to everybody that's in the chat tonight. I can't scroll up, but Bobby Wasabi, Two Deuce, Hardcore Raider, Haley, Aaron and Q-Dog Raider, Zavi Thinks Blue, Running Bear, who am I missing? Abraham is in there, Raider YD, Glitch 25, Jesse Rosales, there's Mikey in there in the bottom. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you to all of you for supporting Raiders Fan Radio the way that you do, and we are definitely a rogues gallery.
We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
You know why we are here, and we ain't playing around today.
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
What's your favorite laugh, Sonny?
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely congratulations also to Big Raider Trucker. You are the newly donned Sergeant at Arms here of the crew on Raiders Fan Radio. So, Sonny, you got anything else before we tap out for the night?
Man, appreciate you having me back. It was good. I can't believe the time flew by like this. Want to come on more now as kind of life unwinds for me. If you guys could, if you're into supporting what I do with the kids, Instagram, SoundCloud, Apple Music, Spotify, type in Bridgeway Respawn Studios, RESPAWN, Bridgeway, just how it sounds. Bridgeway Respawn Studios. Give us a follow on Instagram, SoundCloud, Apple Music, and Spotify. It'd be great. Kind of help support the cause, and you can kind of follow along with the songs and what we're doing there, man. Just appreciate being on the show, Murph. It was awesome.
Absolutely, man. Well, that's great stuff. Again, you're doing the Lord's work, Sonny, and we're just proud as heck of the accomplishments that you've had so far and supporting Raider Nation. Get on out there and support Bridgeway Recovery Studios. Is that correct?
Yeah, Bridgeway Recovery Studios.
All right, yeah, definitely do that.
I'm sorry, Bridgeway Respawn Studios. That's
Respawn. I'm sorry, Bridgeway Respawn Studios. Okay, and we'll connect afterwards. Shoot me some links, and I'll get that up on our socials so people can find that as well. So thank you again, Raider Nation. You guys are the best. Thank you for all you do to support Raider Nation. I guess we might as well let's end on a funny note here. We might as well hit one of these last Uncle Mosh things. Do you remember the one with the crack? You remember that one, Sonny?
Yeah.
I got my Raiders boxers hanging low, covering the crack, because I'm listening to Raiders Fan Radio, a podcast by a couple of fans, Sonny and Murph, 4 Raiders fans who are the only fans that matter.
I remember when he cut that, I go, what does that mean? And he goes, I don't know. Because I just thought it sounded funny. I'm like, well, it did.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, so we'll get Uncle Mosh back. And thank you again, Sonny, for joining us, man. This has been awesome. Always great to have you back on the show. I guess it's been about almost 6 months since we had you on last. Man. Yeah, man. Long time, too long. So as you know, you always have a standing invite to join us anytime that you can and to join us back here on Raiders Fan Radio. I know everybody loves to hear from you and love to collab with you as always, my friend and my cousin. And so we'll do it again soon, huh?
Yeah, man. Sounds good.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks again, Raider Nation. Have a good night, and I appreciate you staying up with us on this Tuesday night. And just remember, what happens in Vegas started in Oakland. Good night, everybody.